Hello everyone, it is Heather, and in today's video I'm going to take you along with us as we go to Valleyfair. Today is Saturday, October 30th, 2021. We are going to Valleyfair, which is an amusement park, a theme park owned by Cedar Fairs. They have the Peanuts characters and the Peanuts theming there, just like Busch Gardens and Kings Island and Cedar Point and places like that. I have done at least one, maybe two Valleyfair videos before. I will link at least one of them up here. There are two events going on at Valleyfair right now. The park is open from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. and it's only open on weekends. It is pretty cold now here in Minnesota. And this, I think, is the last day they're open in 2021. They might be open tomorrow, but tomorrow they're only open from 2 to 6, I think, for the family-friendly event. So from 2 to 6, it's the Pumpkin Fest, and it's like a family-friendly, fall-themed event with the Peanuts characters. That's the part that I'm most interested in, and Megan too, really. And then from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. is Valley Scare, which is a haunted, horror-themed event, okay? I bought the tickets that are for the day, so we can stay the whole time. We can go to both things. And like the rides are going and all of that while they're open. I don't know if every ride will be running, but the park is open and there just happen to be these two things going on at those times. My original plan was to leave at 6 p.m. and get out of there because it'll be dark by then. And then it's probably going to get kind of weird, especially because this is the last night for Valley Scare this year. And Halloween is this weekend. And tonight's event and last night's were both sold out. So it's going to be very packed. If you saw our video from the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular, which we went to last night at the Minnesota Zoo, that was sold out and there were a lot of people there. Ben, though, and Megan a little bit are kind of curious to see what Valley Scare is like. So we might stay for a little while and kind of just check it out. But I definitely don't want to stay very long and I don't want to stay very late. So come along with us as we go to Valleyfair today. It is pretty busy. And we got in here before 2 o'clock and I did manage to get a scooter. It's just like the one I had at Busch Gardens in June. Okay, we're here, we're inside. We got past the initial rope drop crush of people. And now our first ride is the Ferris wheel. Megan just rode the corkscrew by herself. How was it, Meg?
Awesome, super fun.
And now we're on Snoopy's Rocket Express, which gives you a nice up high view, fence in the front of the park, particularly Snoopy Land? Peanuts Land? What is this park called? It's like the family friendly Planet Snoopy? Yeah. It's like the family-friendly area with the kiddie family-friendly rides. We're riding in a rocket like one of these. That's what Megan just rode, was the corkscrew, this one that goes upside down. When I was her age, this was one of my favorite rides too.
If only we could time it so we could go past each other right here.
Oh, that would be cool. I can't ride it anymore though because I have trouble going upside down and backwards.
This can go backwards.
No, I know, but other rides do. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is they do not need to have the music as loud as they do right now. See all the small children running to get on the cosmic coaster. Ben and I just got off this while Megan is riding the
High roller.
high roller. Yeah, the old wooden roller coaster that's like original to Valleyfair. And so Ben and I have decided this is our new thing.
We're riding on the kiddie coaster.
Yeah, we decided that this is our new thing. While Megan's on some big intense ride that we don't want to go on, we're going to ride all the kiddie coasters at every theme park we go to. And they're actually a lot more intense than you think. This one made me dizzy, but it was just a single loop.
And you get pushed all the way over.
You get pushed all the way over, but we went around 3 times. It was not as intense as Grover's Alpine Express at Busch Gardens, but it's a very similar concept. So we're going to be your new kiddie coaster experts.
Plus the music.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Planet Snoopy. That's where you leave Planet Snoopy. We were on one end of it, and it's just all the rides that are better for younger kids and families. The balloon ride, swing set, swings. But then over here is the high roller. I noticed though that all of the Planet Snoopy signs are very badly faded. And like the banners and stuff, they need to touch those up before next season. Okay, Megan is on the high roller right here. We are pretty pleased. None of the lines today you're basically just walking on everything. We just noticed that the high roller is stuck on the incline of the first drop. This has happened to our family several times, but higher up, but they're stuck up there. But we don't see Megan, so she's either already through or she's still in line, which is back there. Okay, temperature update. It's now 55 degrees. The kids have actually both ditched their coats, and I have put them on the back of my seat on the UCV. I'm still wearing mine. I'm okay, but I don't have it zipped. Also, I want to give you a tip. Mask chains. Little mask chains that your mask clips to, so you can easily take your mask on and off and just have it hanging in front of you. Like if you want to take it off to eat, or you don't, like we don't need them on most of the time when we're outside. But if we like on that coaster and we had people in front of us, we put them back on because people are in front of you, or if you're in a crowded area, or if you have to go inside, then they're required. So it's really nice and handy to have them on the mask chain, because then you can just put them on and off easily without having to set them on something icky or losing them or them dropping on the ground, which I see tons of masks on the ground all the time. The kids have now gone on Charlie Brown's Wind Up, which is the smaller swings ride here at Valleyfair. They are also planning to do the really high swings ride at, later on, but we're not over in that area yet. Megan had to get out of line on the high roller because they sent everybody away because they were having mechanical issues. She said the train that was having the problem was actually the one that was in the station on the loading platform, and where it got stuck, they had to actually push it off manually because it wasn't safe to get the people off or something. So they sent everybody that was in line away. So she'll have to go back and try it later and see if they get it fixed.
Corn maze.
Which way do we go in?
That one.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh.
There's an emergency exit.
Is actual corn?
Yeah, this is actual corn.
Hey, can I go first?
Yeah. Hey, stand right there. Or,
No.
uh-oh, dead end.
Does corn have hair?
Yes. It's like, kind of like flossy stuff. Tassels. Here.
Oh, it's just a loop.
Okay. I really do want a picture.
Okay. Well, if you're like an actual like,
Here,
like,
stand like
little,
here.
If you're a little kid, you would love this.
Yeah. Megan says they're too old for trick or treat, and they have nothing to trick or treat with, and they're not in costume. Oh, sad.
We are COVID peoples.
But look at it.
Give you bags.
Oh, they give you bags. It's so cute though. Look at it. It's like a little town. How cute is that? And there's, you can drive a stuff. I think you're too big for that. And then over here there's, oh, this is a cute photo op. Oh. Oh my gosh, and look at her adorable outfit. Ah, the sun is in like the worst place ever. We're actually inside the water park. Okay, so here's the deets on the Pumpkin Fest. It's inside the water park, which is closed for the season. It's quite small. I could walk around it with no problem. It's best for very young children. Like
5-year-olds.
5-year-olds or younger. Yeah. It's cute, but there's not much to it. And the tokens to play the games are quite expensive. Megan just noticed that some older kids, older than little, but younger than my kids, got turned away from the trick-or-treating.
Like in between us, maybe.
Oh, like teens, young teens, yeah. All right, Megan has just gotten on Renegade with, this is another wooden roller coaster, but this one's newer than High Roller. You can see it up there. Just going over, oh, I think I just missed it. She likes this one a lot, but neither Ben or I have ever been on it. She says it's very fast and that we probably wouldn't like it. When we came from that way, we did pass two, what must be like scare houses or haunted houses. Okay, so Ben and I are just sitting here on a bench waiting for Megan to ride Renegade. When we passed those couple of scare houses, one was called the Chateau, and then there was another one that was like, I don't know, something with blood. I don't know.
Oh, it was like Saw.
Yeah, it looks gruesome. I really don't think I want to stay for the scary stuff, do you?
I nodded no.
Oh, you shook your head.
I shook my head.
Okay, so, I mean, we might like still be here like as it starts and just kind of see it, but one thing I'm noticing, which is kind of weird, there's a lot of unattended youth. Many teenagers here without parents. And a lot of them don't look old enough to drive. So we're like, did their parents just drop them off? Like big groups of teenagers. I know I came here like in a group of friends when I was a teenager, but like my older brother was always with us and he would be like in his early 20s or something. I don't know, is that some, I've never Have I ever done that? I don't know that I've ever let my kids go to a theme park by themselves with just their friends. Not saying I wouldn't, but I don't know. Do you do that? There we go. Okay, this one definitely had the longest wait. Megan just got off. We saw her go flying by. She was the only one on her roller coaster train with her mask on. Good job, Meg. How was it, Meg?
It was awesome. Way faster than I remember, though.
Okay, cool. Was it a fairly long wait? This was probably the longest wait.
I didn't expect it to be that long because I was right under the... I first stopped at the stairs that go right up to the loading dock, but there were just a lot of people, I guess.
Okay. There were three things that the kids did not get to go on because we decided the lines were too long. One was the mouse, what's it called?
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap, Mad Mouse. One was Megan wanted to ride the Wild Thing, which is the big steel roller coaster, the green one. You can see behind me there.
And High Roller.
That one. Yeah, Megan, the line for that was really long. Megan never got to ride High Roller because...
That's okay, that one's my least favorite.
That's her least favorite, she says, of the coasters.
There were mechanical issues, and so I got out of line.
Yeah, I explained that earlier.
Oh.
And then the kids decided not to ride the big high swings. They were going to ride those. We went past it, but the line was really long when we went past it the first time, and after we rode the antique cars and came back past it, coming back, the line was even longer. So now we're going to ride the train. We're at the train station waiting for the train, and we're going to just go all the way around. There's actually 2 train stations where you can get on and off, and then we're going to ride the Ferris wheel one more time, and then we're going to go. We're getting kind of cold, and we're hungry, and we don't want to pay for theme park prices on food. And also, it seems like the lines are getting longer and the crowds are getting bigger the later in the day it gets. And we just don't have any interest in the Valley Scare stuff. We paid $160 something for the tickets, for all-day tickets for Valleyfair today. But we noticed some people have lanyards that are just for Valley Scare. So I think you could also buy just Valley Scare passes, and I don't know how much those are. But you can come like just for that. Hi there. Okay, we're back at the hotel. It's about 8 o'clock at night. We left Valleyfair about 7. We stopped, drove through a McDonald's, and then sat and ate the food in the McDonald's parking lot. It's a little hard for me to eat in the car while driving at night. We were not the only ones doing that, by the way. We wanted to give you a few closing thoughts about Valleyfair today. We had a nice time. We had a good time. The kids had fun. We're glad we went early. We're glad we got there right when it opened, a little bit before it opened. And I'm glad I got the scooter. I did also want to mention that I paid $50, just a flat $50 for the scooter, and that actually ended up being the exact same amount I paid for the ECV at Minnesota Zoo. Minnesota Zoo, they charged you $10 an hour, and they had you pay when you returned it. They kept your driver's license at the Minnesota Zoo, and then when you returned the ECV, they charged you for however long you had it. So when we were there in the afternoon, I paid $30, and when we were there in the evening for the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular, I paid $10. So I paid a total of $40 for the 4 hours I used it. And then it was a $50 flat fee for it at Valleyfair, and we were there basically exactly 5 hours. So it ended up being the same. It ended up being about $10 an hour. If I had stayed later until, like, say I had stayed all the way until Valleyfair had closed at 11, then it would have actually been a better deal to get the ECV at Valleyfair than it was at the Minnesota Zoo, because I would have gotten 9 hours worth for $50. Two things I really enjoyed about going to Valleyfair here right at the end of the season. One is the colors of the trees and everything. Our fall came very late this year, were very pretty, and they had a lot of really lovely fall decorations. The park was decorated really neat for fall, and we got a lot of cool pictures and stuff of that. So that was really nice. And the other thing I really, really enjoyed, because I'm sure I have never been to Valleyfair in the fall before, was how nice the weather was, because it was very cool. It was in the 50s. It was in like the 40s by the time we left in the evening. We were getting quite chilly, but it was so much more pleasant to be going around a theme park when the weather is like that, and it was a nice sunny day, than it is to be going when it's 90 and super, super humid and hot in the summer. I would much rather go in fall weather like this. So that was really nice. We did not participate in any aspects of Valley Scare. They were switching over to Valley Scare as we were leaving, and like lights were coming on. We didn't see any scare actors or anything like that. So I don't know if they were only in certain places and like in those haunted house things or whatever. There were a lot of lights on the rides and in the trees and things like that that made it look kind of overall like Halloween. And there were some fire and things, like actual flames going and stuff, and lots of scary like skeleton decorations and things like that. But those were there during the day too. So that wasn't anything really different. It just looks a little creepier at night, I guess. But we didn't actually see anything happening. It looked like they were getting ready to do some kind of a show as we were leaving, but it did get much, much more crowded and busy in the evening, and it started to get a little bit wild, and there was a lot of security presence. So I'm glad we didn't stay, because we didn't feel comfortable with that environment. And you could see that basically all of the families with kids were leaving when we were. When we got there at like 1:45 in the afternoon, we had no problem getting a really super close parking space. When we left at around 7, the parking lot was completely full, and Valley Scare was sold out, and this was the last night of Valley Scare, and tomorrow was Halloween. If you want to go to Valley Scare in future years, I would definitely plan on buying your tickets for the date that you want as early as possible. And also dress warm. A lot of people were in costume, and some of them were great. Like people had like full furry, bunny rabbit suit or whatever. They were going to be plenty warm. But we saw like girls in like these little short skirts and dresses and things like that. That was their costume, and I'm like, they're going to be freezing. It was like 45 degrees when we left. That is not very warm at all. So, I mean, I was cold, and we were cold, and I had my gloves on. I had we had like fall quilted jackets on and stuff, and we were pretty chilly. If you're going to Valleyfair it's only open on the weekends in the fall after the summer season, I think after Labor Day. And if you're going as a family, like for a family outing, and you don't want to participate in Valley Scare, I definitely would suggest going as early as possible, like going right when it opens. We didn't have any trouble at all getting on rides when we first got there, but the longer we were there, the longer the lines got. So if you want to be able to do everything you want to do in that short 4 hours or whatever that it's open before Valleyfair starts. It's really important to get there as soon as possible. But overall, we had a really enjoyable day. I really liked seeing it in the fall. It was a really nice, fun time. The one thing that we have come to realize, though, is when it comes to general, like, regional theme parks, like Valleyfair, Busch Gardens, those kind of places, Megan ends up having a lot more fun than either Ben or I do. And the reason for that is because she's more into, like, a lot of the thrill rides and the big roller coasters, and neither of Ben or I like to do those. My dad was a big roller coaster fan, and Andrew to some extent was. Like, he might go on a couple roller coasters with Megan that we wouldn't go on now. So Megan gets to go on a lot of rides, but it ends up being Ben and I end up sitting and waiting a lot. We still enjoy the atmosphere and we enjoy the family rides and things like that, but we do end up kind of just sitting around and doing nothing a lot while she's going on rides. And so that's one of the reasons I really like Disney, even though I have some issues with Disney too. The one really great thing about the Disney theme park from a ride standpoint is that the rides are really designed to be very family friendly. And, you know, some people complain that Disney doesn't have enough thrill rides, but I couldn't care less about that. I don't want to go to Disney for thrill rides. There's hundreds of other theme parks all over the world that focus so much on thrill rides that I really like that Disney isn't like that. And Disney is the one place I can go where I know that I can go on almost every single ride they have there and enjoy it and not feel sick and not feel terrified and have a fun time. And I like that Disney has more creative variety of rides that the whole family can enjoy together. And I hope that doesn't change in the future. So I hope this video was helpful to you in understanding what it's like to go to Valleyfair or another one of the Cedar Fairs parks. They're all over the country at the end of the season like this, right at the end of the fall. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up down below. Have a great day, everyone, and safe travels.